live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. The role of the master is to shatter the fictions around you. The role of the master is to shatter fictions around you. Only then facts become available to you and you become available to the facts. Each one of us lives in a state of fiction, not understanding. Even your priests do not understand. I have heard Carl Gustav Jung came to India. He went to the temples of Khajuraho, Ajanta, Ellora to see why the significance of these temples. He was very excited and happy seeing these. And Carl is one of those persons who have delved deeper into human consciousness than anybody else. When he reached the temple of Konark, and the priest who was taking him around to show the sculptures, the temple, he was very embarrassed. How to explain these erotics, men and women in the act of sex? Carl was very ecstatic watching these. He was lost in a deep communion with these. The priest was saying these are the expressions of deformed human mind. They do not represent Indian culture. They are obscenes. This is the understanding of the priest. Priests of all the so-called religions are groping in this kind of darkness. It is said, according to Islam, in the beginning there was Noor, and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created man in his image and he put the Ruh could not enter. Then he took out the Noor and put it in the Noor, and then the soul could enter. That is all is explained. The rest is fiction. This is in the beginning, before light comes into existence, there was darkness, and there was dark, not darkness. Dawn was about to come. The rays of light were to emit. And then life begins. Life begins at the dawn when dark moments are receding. Darkness means ignorance, and light is descending in you. Light enters in a dome-shaped or egg-shaped flame light. This is the Hindu symbol of Shivlingam. You cannot expect a Christian to conceive of these erotics as form of the in the temple, in the church. So what the master does, he shatters the fictions around you so that you can be available to the facts, and facts are available to you. That facticity is truth. Once you know that facticity, even the master will be different. If you come to a master now, you come with your own image of him. Someone comes to me, he comes with his own image of the master, that the master will behave in a particular way, he will speak this way or that way. And then, if I am not following the image that he has in his mind, he is in difficulty. So there are people who follow the Sufi path. They found it difficult when I am speaking the other aspects. So what they do, they will only like or share the posts that are related to their understanding. And when I am not following his image, he is in difficulty. But how am I to follow his image? And if I try to follow everyone's image, there will be a mess. And every disciple thinks, every seeker thinks that I should be this or that. You want the master to fulfill your image, because each seeker has his own concept of a master. If I am not fulfilling his concept, he becomes frustrated. Doubt begins to filter in his mind how he is going to be. A disciple comes with a mindset, and this is his problem. And the master has to change himself to suit his mind, to destroy it. He comes with a mind, with a conditioning, and he looks at the master through the filter of his own understanding, that is his mind. Osho narrates a beautiful incident. He says once he was staying with a family, and the family was Jain. Jain are the people who live with a certain understanding. They would not eat in the night. It is true that you should not eat late, because when the sun rises, the life comes into existence, and with sunset, life retreats back, retards, goes back into the womb. Flowers start blossoming, birds start chirping, and so the process of digestion begins with that life has come in. So if you eat food after sunset, the digestion becomes difficult unless you do certain yogic exercises to digest your food. My father always ate food around 9:30, not before that. So I asked him once, why do you eat at that time? He said after that he sits down for 15 to 20 minutes in this yogic posture wherein you have to sit down in the dosanu posture, in which you sit in your namaz prayers and make the fist of the two hand and put it on the two sides of the solar plexus and press it and bend your head down. That is the posture. It helps to digest the food. But it is good that you should not eat, but then most of the dinner parties, they begin in the night and continue until the wee hours. So when he was staying in that family, the old man of the family, he loved the books of Osho. He had never met him, and it was easy to love a book because book will not speak to you. If you can read the book, draw your own conclusion and inferences, but when you are in front of me, you cannot do that because I am the living book. Book, in a way, it is good, but it is a dead commodity, dead thing. It can become alive for you. So this old man came to meet Osho. He was very old, and even to come from his room was difficult for him. He was 92 and came to meet Osho. Osho told him that instead of him coming to meet him, he will come to his room. So, but he said, no, I respect you, I will come. So he came and he was praising Osho very much. And he said, you are like a Tirthankar. Jains have 24 Tirthankar. Tirthankar means it is the word that is used for enlightened ones. According to Jain, the Jain is the surname. These are the followers of Mahabir. This is the highest state, like the highest in Jain mythology, Mahabir. The greatest teachers are known according to Jain religion are Tirthankars, like how in Buddhist path, they are known as enlightened ones. So he said, you are like a Tirthankar, and he was praising and praising Osho. Then evening came, darkness descended. Someone from the house came and said, now it is getting late, you come for your evening meals. So Osho said, wait a little, because of this old person is here, let him say whatever he wants to say, then I will come to have the meals. The old man said, what are you saying? Are you going to eat in the night? This is the mindset. And then Jain people, they do not eat certain root vegetables. They do not eat potato because it is grown under the ground. Just as ISKCON people and Raj Yoga people do not eat mushroom, onion, garlic. They have their own understanding of that. So the old man told Osho, what are you saying? Are you going to eat in the night? I said, it is okay with me. So he said to Osho, I take my words back. You are not a Tirthankar, because he had an image that a Tirthankar is the one who does not even know that to eat in the night is the greatest sin. What else can he know? Now, this man cannot have any meeting with me, with him, with Osho. It is impossible. If Osho was not eating in the night, he was a Tirthankar, a great master. Osho had not eaten yet. I simply said that I would eat in the night, and suddenly the man concluded that you are not Tirthankar. You come with a fictitious image of the master, that master will not do this, master will not do that. And there are so many misconceptions and fictions in your mind, and that are fused into you from the peoples surrounding you. The master will not do this. This is against master-disciple relationship. So the old man told Osho, I have come to learn something from you, but now it is impossible. Now I feel I must teach you something. So this is what happens. Every Indian considers himself to be a guru. So when I look at the post which are read by the people from different cultural backgrounds, and those who are of Indian background, Indian understanding, they put comments, this is so in this scripture, this is that in that scripture. So what are you going to learn from me? Nothing. As compared to that, the Western or the innocent ones, they at the most, if they like the post, they use the word wow or simply like. They do not make comments like the other Indians. So what are they going to learn? Is better they do not come or read the posts, but they do. They read it to make a comment that he also knows this. This is in this particular scripture, in that particular Purana or this. So when this world becomes an illusion, your master will also be a part of it, illusion, and will disappear. That is why the moment awakening dawns into you or the disciple becomes awakened, there is no master. He knows that master disciple is nothing else but it is an acting. This may seem very paradoxical. When the disciple really awakens, there is no master. There is beautiful songs of Saraha, who was a Buddhist master, Buddhist mystic. With every song, the last ending line is, and Saraha disappeared. ending line, every song, the ending line is, and Saraha disappeared. He teaches something, he gives some teachings, and he says, neither the world is, nor the nirvana is liberation, neither the good nor the bad go beyond, and Saraha disappears. It has been a puzzle. Why does Saraha goes on saying, and Saraha disappears? When a particular session begins, I speak, a certain kind of understanding comes to you. It has to blossom into you, so the master disappears. If you really attain to the song, to whatsoever he has said, there is neither good nor bad, nor the world like nirvana. If the disciple really awakens to this, Saraha will disappear. You need the master to remove the fiction that has gathered around you. The doctor appears because there is sickness in you. The moment sickness disappears, the doctor too disappears. Where will be the master? The master is part of the disciple's world. Just as the doctor is the part of the deceased person's world. Now there will be no entities, no one like the Guru and the disciple. There is only one world, enlightened, awakened. Each one of you is in the process of awakening. I am needed because you need the darkness of night to vanish. Dawn has to appear. The moment dawn comes in, all that disappears. The master was a part of disciples' world. Now there will be no one like master and disciple. They will become one, awakening. When the disciple awakens, he becomes the master himself. That is why it is said, one who is visionary, he stands the stream of time, he thinks, he knows someone will come after him to continue the process of transformation of human consciousness. Existence selects people who are ready to be the part of this process of transformation of human consciousness. Today, I am there. I have heard the birds were talking among themselves in a garden. Seeing the gardener, the birds started talking to them. Those who have blossomed, those who have flowered, are picked up by the gardener. Those who have blossomed, the buds that have blossomed, flowered, are picked up by the gardener. And one bud says to the other, tomorrow will be my chance to be picked up. If you really attain to Som, not just having your name as Saraha, do you have the understanding of Saraha? That is more important. Why does Saraha says at the end of each song, Saraha disappears? There is neither good nor bad. Duality, the awakening is disappearance of duality. It is the dawn of awakening. Dawn of awakening means dawn of oneness, dawn of harmony. There is neither the world nor nirvana, the liberation, freedom from the world. If the disciple really awakens to this, Saraha, the mystic, will disappear. Where will be the master? The guru, the master, is the part of disciple's world, your unconscious world. Now there will be no entities, no one like the master and the disciple. They are become one, merged into one another. The drop has merged into the ocean. Fana fuel shake state has come in. Now the fana fuel baka will come into when the ocean lends its qualities to the drop. Drop is no more a drop, it has become oceanic. When the disciple awakens, he becomes the master and Saraha disappears. Then the master will not be there. Even he is part of your dream, of your illusioned world. But because of this, many problems arise. Krishnamurti goes on saying there is no teacher, and he is right. He is talking of an ultimate state. If I tell you, you will understand this very well. You go to a class, you are studying in a particular discipline, you come, you are studying medicine. So you go to the class of anatomy, physiology, or anything else. So you are learner. There is a wide gap between you and the teacher who teaches you rigors of anatomy, physiology, or any other aspect. And when you graduate from there, you become one like the one who was teaching you. Maybe you can be employed in the same university, in the same discipline of anatomy, and you start teaching what the person taught you. Once he was your teacher, teaching you, now you have graduated, you are starting to teach the same thing what this person was teaching you once. So what is the difference? Both of you have degree in anatomy and or physiology, and you are a professor of anatomy as your teacher is. So both of you in the same category, professor of anatomy. Disciple creates the master. That professor is known as professor because of the number of students in the class. In the classroom, he is known as a professor. At home, he is not a professor. In his profession, medical profession, he is known as a doctor, but he holds the status of a professor. So when Krishnamurti says there is no teacher, he is right. And this is the ultimate truth. So if when you enter the medical college, you are you just now entered, to say that you are the professor of anatomy will create confusion. You do not know the spelling of anatomy, and I am calling you the professor of anatomy. But 5 years after you finish your degree, graduated and obtained your degree in medicine, then you enter the same college under the same professor to do your MD or MS, Master of Surgery or Master of a degree of medicine, and you graduate, then you obtain some other degrees, so you become professor. But in the beginning, when you entered the medical college, if I had called you the professor of anatomy, you will be confused. How are you calling me the professor of anatomy? I know nothing. I do not know even the spelling of anatomy properly. I do not know anything about Thomas Gray's book of anatomy. So when you have awakened, you have graduated, then the same person, you will respect him, but you attain the same status as you. You are a professor of anatomy, and one who taught you is also the professor of anatomy. Both of you are teaching the same discipline to different set of students. But this is the ultimate truth. And before this happens, the teacher is there because the disciple is, the student is there, so the professor is there in the class. If there are no students in that particular discipline, how can that professor remain employed in the university? The disciple, the student creates the teacher. It is the teacher, the master is the need of the disciple. You understand this? It is easy to understand. When the university starts a medical program, first it employs the qualified persons as professors so that they can teach the various aspects of the medical science to the students who are entering. So because of the students, there is a need of the professor. Not because of the professor, the student is needed. I am there because you need me. So I am there, and as long as you need me, I am there. So remember this, if you meet a wrong teacher, you deserve a wrong teacher. That is why you meet the wrong teacher, because your conditioning is wrong. A wrong disciple cannot meet the right teacher. Whatever is there in you, you will attract something that is complementary to you. You want to major in anatomy, you will reach the one who is expert in that field. If you want to major in engineering, then the professor of internal medicine will not be your teacher and you will not be attracted to him. Whatever you have to become, if you are a rose flower, rose bud, rose seed, you cannot become a lotus flower. So the master is the need of the disciple. Whatever is within the disciple, that is what needs to be flowered or blossomed, has to surface. So a professor of civil engineering will not be of any use to the one who wants to major in internal medicine or cardiology or something else. A wrong disciple cannot meet the right teacher. You create your teacher, your master, according to your own need. A small teacher or a great teacher, all depends on you. If the disciple is very intelligent and much deeper, you will meet the person you deserve. Whatever is there in you, whatever in you needs to blossom, you will deserve the person who can help you in the process of that. If you meet a wrong person, it is because of you. You are responsible for it, not the wrong person. The master is also the part of your mind, because you want to reach to the top through this passage. You want to fly to reach to the other place through this route, so you will have to take the flight accordingly. You are responsible for it. The master is the part of your mind. It is part of your dream world. But unless you become awakened, you will need someone to constantly disturb you. Disturbance means someone to help you. This someone who is there to disturb you, what he does, disturbs is your unconsciousness, disturbs your sleep pattern. He disturbs your sleep so that you do not remain asleep when you need to be awakened. And someone who helps you, you need to help you at different stages. If he gives you methods, he is simply a teacher. He is a master if he gives you methods, techniques. And he is simply a teacher if he gives you a doctrine, principle, teachings, but you may need him right now. Think of it in this way. Even in a dream, there is something which can help you to come out of it. Even in a dream, something can help you to come out of it. You can try it just while falling asleep. Go on repeating to the mind, whatever there is, whenever there is a dream, my eyes will be open. If you go on saying this for 3 weeks on a continuous basis, repeating it just before falling asleep, whenever there is a dream, my eyes will open. Whenever there is dream, my eyes will open. If you continue to say this before going to sleep for 3 weeks, suddenly you will be awakened. And you will awaken. Even from a dream, you can be awakened by a certain method. Just when falling asleep, saying to yourself, If whatever be your name, say, X, awaken me at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. Repeat it twice and then silently fall asleep. Sooner or later, you will get the trick. Exactly at the time that you have infused into you, someone will awaken you. Even in a dream, even in sleep, methods can be used to awaken you. Those who are in intimate communion with the Master, they will realize this. The same is the case for a spiritual sleep you are in. So I do not use any alarm to wake me up. And it has become now that at this particular time, 3:30, I wake up. Sometimes it happens if I have to use the restroom, I may wake up a little early. And then after that, realizing that there is still half an hour or 15 minutes, I lie down and a nap comes in. So that may delay the waking up. But at the exact time that you have set into your mind, what you do, alarm, you set a particular time and the bell to ring. So it is a mechanical process. At times, the alarm does not budge. Something you have done it wrong. So in the same way, someone wakes you up at the time you set your alarm, your clock of the mind. So this is only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.